drop this down for you so you can see my faces. We're gathered here today in remembrance of the Holocaust and genocides that have happened throughout the world, mainly during the Second World War and since then in other places, including Bosnia and a few other countries around the world. I now call upon Rabbi to here to do prayer and say a short piece. Thank you.
Before I talk about the Holocaust Memorial Day, Mr. Mayor, with your permission, I would ask that we just take a couple of moments to remember those of our citizens who have been taken from us due to the COVID-19. Thank you. I'd just like to start, if I may, with a prayer as we begin this Holocaust Memorial Day ceremony. Blessed be the Lord our God, who causes us to pray for the world of which we are a part, a world of pain and suffering, error and hate, prejudice and ignorance, arrogance and pride. Hear us, we pray, for those who suffer today for the horrors of the past, for survivors of atrocities whose memory of its awfulness still haunts and hurts. Hear us as we pray for those who work for reconciliation and understanding, peace, respect and tolerance. Guide organisations that foster friendship, that heal hurts and bitter memories, that promote faithful encounter and honest dialogue. Hear us as we pray for those who encourage interfaith dialogue and international peace and relations, for those who pioneer new ways of thinking and understanding, those who encourage fresh visions of a world where we respect each other's diversity and celebrate the richness of each other's traditions, where we learn from one another and glimpse something of the mystery that is God. Comfort and hear us as we pray for those who are caught in the world's conflicts, innocent men, women and children. Hear their cries, feel their pain and loss, lighten their desolation. Hear us as we pray for those who are dying with no one to care for them, no one to love them, those who die and nobody knows their name. We pray you will send us to the lost and afraid, the destitute and the dying, the lonely and the oppressed. Give us grace, give us energy, and give us a vision of your love and empower us to do your will. Compassionate God, we ask that you hear us in our prayers and supplications to you. Amen.
Amen.
Holocaust Memorial Day is commemorated worldwide each year on the 27th of January because it was on the 27th of January 1945 that the Nazi concentration camp at Auschwitz-Birkenau, where close to 1 million Jews as well as 120,000 Poles, Roma and Soviet prisoners of war died, was liberated by the Russian army. As we know, prior to that, 6 million innocent men, women and children, victims of Nazi persecution, had perished in the camps. 2/3 of Europe's Jewish population was systematically murdered, and the Holocaust became the worst genocide in history. Generations lost and descendants unborn. The theme for this year's Holocaust Memorial Day is Be the Light in the Darkness, and it is encourage us all to be the light by speaking out against persecution and discrimination of any sort, and shining a light on this truth. It also encourages us to never let that light go out in remembering those poor souls who have been the victims of persecution or genocide throughout the world. Holocaust Memorial Day, and this memorial in particular, is dedicated not only to the 6 million who perished under the Nazi persecution, but also to the victims of the more recent genocides that have taken place in Cambodia, Bosnia, Darfur and Rwanda, and to the persecution of the Muslim Rohingya people in Myanmar, as well as to the atrocities committed by the ISIS caliphate on the Yazidi population in the province of Sinjar in northern Iraq. By us being the light, it means that the victims will always be remembered and never forgotten. Humanity can be the light to overcome the darkness. Ziggy Shipper, a Holocaust survivor, wrote, "There is nothing that we can do about the past, but we can do a lot about the present and the future." The worst thing that anyone can do is to forget the past or that it ever happened. And I am so grateful that we hold this memorial ceremony each year. This evening at 7 o'clock there will be a Holocaust Memorial Day ceremony broadcast online. And as the ceremony ends at 8 o'clock, you are asked to safely put a candle in your window to remember all those who were murdered for who they were, and for you to show that you stand against all forms of prejudice and hatred today. As you leave today, please pick up one of these booklets which has been produced by the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust. And finally, you will notice that around the base and on top of this memorial are a few stones. Within the Jewish faith, it is customary to leave a stone on a grave or memorial. This serves as an outward sign to others that someone has visited and remembered. Stones are fitting symbols of the lasting presence of the deceased's life and memory. On the bench here, I have placed a small bag of stones, and at the conclusion of this ceremony, I invite you to take a stone and place it on the memorial if you wish to do so. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody here for attending today, and if we could just have a couple of minutes silence for all those lost now and